Hi, welcome back to another session of Ascariasis. So, in this session, we are going to explain the life cycle and the sign and symptom of Ascariasis. So, as we said, the route of transmission is the oral route. When you ingest something contaminated with the eggs or the larvas of this Ascariasis rubricoid. So, when one ingests food that is contaminated with the larva, when one ingests the food that is contaminated with the larva, it reaches the stomach. Some of the eggs will be destroyed by the acid of the stomach, but some of the other eggs are going to survive and reach the intestines. When they reach the intestines, they are going to hatch. When they hatch, they're going to hatch into small larvas. Those small larvas are going to be transported from the intestines through the through the vein or the lymphatic system. And then when they're transported through the vein or the lymphatic system, they're going to reach the lungs. When they reach the lungs, they're going to stay in the lungs for about 10 to 14 days before maturing. When they get matured, those larvae are going to leave the lungs through the bronchioles to the throat. And then when someone goes and swallows the back, they're going to swallow back the matured larva. When they swallow back the matured larva, it's going to pass through the stomach, where it might survive. Some of the worms are going to survive in the stomach acid, but some of them they're going to die. And then when they pass through the stomach, they're going to reach the intestine. That's why now they're going to mature into big worms. When they are matured into big worms, that's why now a person will start sensing some signs and symptoms. That's why the signs and symptoms now starts. When they reach the signs and symptoms start from the lungs. And we'll get there it. When they reach the intestine, they're going to grow into bigger worms. When they grow into bigger worms, they're now going to start causing inflammation. They'll start feeding into the mucosa of the intestine. Then when they start causing that inflammation, that's why someone will start manifesting with some diarrhea at a point. But not everyone. Some people start manifesting with diarrhea. That's why fever now comes in. Why is fever coming? Because there's an inflammation in the intestine. Then there will be discomfort. Someone will be feeling discomfort in their stomach. Why is there discomfort? Because there are big worms growing inside. And then when they grow more big, they seem to tangle, forming a ball. When they form a ball, there will be intestinal obstruction. When there's intestinal obstruction, someone will start having the discomfort.